No, I'm not nervous for this class because I know this class will benefit me in many different ways, and I'm excited to take this course. I feel like public speaking is one of the most important things that everyone should have in today's world. Public speaking helps us through job interviews, job, school, and more. And if we practice public speaking now, it'll just make us more confident for those events. How can nerves impact your physical and verbal delivery? We have something called fight or flight, and you can either fight or flight. And so you can get super nervous or you can just freeze up and stuff. So it affects us in many different ways. It can cause you to get super nervous or scared. Some people physically, they move their hands, they sway back and forth, they start twitching. And verbal, some people start to stutter. They don't pronounce words right, or they even just say their speech super fast to where nobody can understand them. And so it's really not that helpful to do that. A time I have been nervous to talk in front of a group or a person is one time I went to Merit for a speech contest for FFA. And I had given my speech about one time before, but I gave it in front of people I knew. So I wasn't that worried that time. But this time it was people I didn't know. And I was like, well, I'm gonna have to do this. And I was prepared and everything, and I stepped into the classroom ready to give my speech, and I just froze. I was so scared because I didn't know any of the judges, and all their eyes were on me. And so I was just terrified. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so scared. But I just took a deep breath and I told myself that everything was going to be all right. And I said my speech and I waited and waited to get the results. And I had placed second that day in my speech. Some nerves I experience is I like to twitch with my fingers. I like to talk with my hands. And so I move my hands around a lot, or sometimes if I'm talking and I don't notice, I'll start to bite my nails. Or another bad habit I have is when I get nervous, I let my speech impediment come out. So I took speech class for 3 years, from 3rd grade to 5th grade. And so I maintain my speech impediment really well, but if I get nervous enough, sometimes you can hear it slipping out. Something I can do to combat these nerves is I just take a deep breath. I just take a deep breath, tell myself that everything will be all right, and it will be, and I know it will be. Another thing I like to do when I'm giving my speeches, if it's to a group of people, I take my eyes off of them and I look at something over their head. So it looks like I'm looking at them, but in reality, I'm not. But it's always good to maintain eye contact. So I learned just to make eye contact, take deep breaths, and take your time.